In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate but equally important groups. The police who investigate the crimes and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
The purpose of law in our society is actually pretty simple to understand. According to Linda Williams of UC Berkeley, there's 6 reasons. Number 1, keep the peace. Number 2, maintain the status quo. Number 3, preserve individual rights. Number 4, protect minorities against majorities. Number 5, promote social justice. And number 6, provide for orderly social change. Among other things, we have laws to prevent these guys. Laws, put simply, are the set of rules and regulations that a governing body enforces upon its citizens. In the United States, they come from a variety of different places, but it all stems from the Constitution, which was written by the people and is considered to be the foundation for all of the laws that exist in this country. It serves as a basis for which the 3 branches of government operate and puts certain limits on the power that each branch has. The legislative, executive, and judicial branches make up our federal government here in the United States, and all serve purposes that reinforce the main principles that were laid out in the Constitution. The legislative branch is made up of the Senate and House of Representatives, and is responsible for creating bills which can be passed through to the President with a majority vote. With the signature of the President, these bills become part of law, known as statutes. The executive branch is led by the President of the United States, along with the Vice President and state governors. The President and governors have the authority to sign executive orders, which immediately become law without a majority vote from Congress. The executive branch also appoints administrative agencies, which have the power to create federal or state regulations that have the same significance and legal power as statutes. The judicial branch is made up of both federal and state judges who, through the process of resolving cases, create case law. When a judge decides a case, that decision becomes precedent for any related future disputes that may arise. This is called stare decisis, which is Latin for to stand by things decided, and it allows courts to yield to prior decisions when deciding cases. However, the judicial branch does have the power to institute new laws. If an appellate court writes an opinion that opposes the precedent of a prior case, the new opinion overrules the old one and prevents it from being applied in any future cases. When discussing the sources of law, it's important to consider which sources take priority over others. Let's consider this scenario. Legislators in New Jersey vote unanimously to enact a statute that bans all citizens from practicing Buddhism. This would be a direct violation of the First Amendment protection of freedom of religion, and since every United States citizen is entitled to this right, the statute would be voided. When you take a closer look at speed limits, you can see that state legislators enact their own statutes that vary from state to state. Since there is no federal speed limit right now, the states have full control over what they want their speed limit to be. If they agree that 100 miles per hour is right for them, they have the power to do so. In 1974, however, there was a federal speed limit of 55 miles per hour. This means that at the time, states could still enact their own speed limits as long as they didn't exceed 55 miles per hour. If the state decided that 45 miles per hour was a better limit, that would be fine, but they couldn't make it 65 miles per hour because of the federal law. The law in the United States comes from a variety of different places in all 3 branches and stems from the oldest constitution in the world. Without it, you could very well end up in this guy's position.